Well, hi everybody. This is Explorer 867. Today's the first day of the rest of your life, so get out and enjoy it. Today I thought I'd give you a tour of our converted cargo trailer. It's a 6x12, and we have turned it into a camper on the inside, a camper that fits Helen's and my needs. We've kept it simple, practical, and very functional. So come on along. I'll give you a tour of the outside, and then I'll take you on the inside and kind of show you what we've done there too, just as well. Okay, and then this is an RV style door. This is a must. You know, if you're going to convert your cargo trailer, you want to have a good side door. This is a great side door. Has a deadbolt lock and then a lock for the paddle mechanism that opens the door up. But anyway, this is a radius window. They're tinted, so it's hard to see in, which is nice, and yet we get plenty of light through these during the day, and we can see out quite well, but it's hard to see in unless it's nighttime, and then we have the lights on the inside, and then you can see through. But during the daytime, these pretty much shroud the inside of the trailer, so it's not easy to see. The tires, we swapped the tires out. Like so many of these RVs or these trailers, they come with what we call China bombs, Chinese tires. And I'm uncomfortable running down the road with those. I've seen so many of those blow up on the highway, especially when it gets hot. So what we ended up doing is we swapped these out. So these tires are the Goodyear Endurance tires. They have a reinforced sidewall. So we do a lot of gravel roads and moderate overland with this, very moderate overland with this trailer. So an occasional rocks that we go through that could be problematic if you brush the side of an inexpensive tire with the rock here. It'll cut the sidewall. These being reinforced, these will stand the test. You can see up here, put in a outdoor light. That's really nice to have at night when you're out boondocking. Okay, I apologize for the lighting. It's not ideal today, but anyhow, I wanted to show you what we've got back here. Got a spare tire, and anyhow, this is really nice to have back here. It stows, keeps the tire out of the way. We put a cover on it so that the sun won't deteriorate the rubber in the tire so readily. The covers are easy to replace. The tires are expensive, and the covers are not very expensive. So anyhow, this stows the tire very well. It's down low enough on the rear gate. This is a gate that lays down. It's down low enough on the gate that when we put the door down, it does not interfere. All the lights on the trailer are LED. Okay, so this is a shore power access on the side of the trailer. This is on the driver's side of the trailer, left side of the trailer. And what this will do, this gives us the ability to plug in if we're at a park where there's shore power. And then also we have a generator. We've got a little Yamaha generator that we bring with us that we can plug in here. Once again, we've got power outlets in the inside, 120 power or household power on the inside. And okay, this is the diesel fuel tank for the diesel heater inside the trailer, and this is the pump that pumps the fuel from the tank into the heater, metering pump, and this does a really good job. We put this out here so that we can eliminate the smell of diesel on the inside of the trailer, and it's done a great job. The only thing is, and if any of you guys watching this video have some suggestions on how to insulate these little pumps to quiet them down, we've got a rubber mount here that comes with this, and it's mounted to the box. But if you have any suggestions on how to quiet these pumps down, leave your suggestion down below the video in the comments down there. I'd be interested to see what some of you guys have done to quiet these diesel pumps down. But I'm very happy with the diesel heater. It works terrifically. This holds 2.5 gallons of diesel. So on top of the trailer here, you can see that we have solar. We've got 3 100-watt Renogy panels up on the top. I mounted those with Vantech roof mounts, and it has worked out very well for us. Over on this side here, you can see that we've got a antenna mounted on that side. That's for our GMRS radio that we have inside the trailer for communications. So I like to go hiking during the day quite often, and Helen doesn't typically, well, she doesn't always go with me. So I've got a 50-watt GMRS radio inside the RV here, and then I have a portable unit that I carry with me so we can keep communications while I'm out and about. Another feature we have on the roof here is called a Maxxair fan, and these work very well. Okay, so you're inside the trailer now. Like I said, we've kept this Spartan so that it's modular. We can move things around inside the trailer as we need to for room, for space, and you'll see that with how we set up our bunks in here in just a minute. But first of all, this is the cabinet that I built for the nose of the trailer. It's very functional. What we've done in here is we have everything stored in plastic containers. It just helps to keep everything very organized. You can see what's in each container. You can just grab it and get what you need very easily. And it keeps things dry in high humidity situations. We've got our propane, bottles of propane down here for running the stove. If we want to use the 16-ounce containers of propane, we can. Or we've got the Covia as well for the stove. Keep some water in here, and yellow jacket spray for the summertime. And over on this side, over here, we just have like our coats, our blankets, smaller blankets for to throw over us for nighttime. We've got a cooler we set in here. We can put ice in this and keep things cool in here just for quick grab and goes for the day, like pop in here or a brewski for the night. Or if we're going to make lunch, we can put our fixings in here, and it's easy to grab them and then cook them. This is our stove right here. We have an O2 cool fan that we can set up in here and plug it into the 12-volt outlets right up here and get some air circulation for the day. I'll show you a better picture of this, but in here is where all of the electrical is located, and I'll show you a close-up on that here in just a second. So you should have a fire extinguisher handy in all of your camping rigs. Just a good idea to have the ability to knock down a small fire. Obviously, if it's anything big, we're getting out of here. This is the 50-watt GMRS radio I had mentioned earlier when we were looking at the antenna on the roof. This is set up here as a base station, so Helen can talk to me. I'll pack, this is my radio, my portable, and we can talk back and forth if I'm out on a hike during the day, because a lot of times I go for a hike and she'll like to stay here and camp and just mess around and you know, maybe get the evening meal ready or whatever. I'm out and about, you know, just looking at stuff. So we can keep in contact with these. These GMRS radios are really good. These are they're Chinese, which most all of your radio equipment's going to be Chinese, most of it. This is a Wuxan, or they pronounce it in China, it's called Ocean. This one here will broadcast with the radio antenna on the roof. We can talk reasonably 20 miles if we're out in the open desert. If we've got clear line of sight, we can talk 60 miles with this unit here. These handhelds, we've talked about 5 miles, 6 miles with these, and probably once again out in the open territory further than that. Let me show you the electrical down here in this cabinet. I'll open it back up. We'll take a look at that. Okay, this is our power center in the cabinet in the front of the trailer, and you can see this is our circuit breaker box here for the 110 shore power. Comes in here. We have two breakers. One of them runs the outlet in the back of the trailer. I'll show you in a minute. That is for the air conditioner, and the other one runs the outlet up on the top of the cabinet. Also, it runs this outlet. The same breaker is the one that runs the outlet up on the top of the cabinet. It runs this one just as well, and they're GFCI'd. Okay, so that's kind of the shore power setup. We've got the Renogy Rover here, which is a charge controller. Then we have our fuse box here. And I installed down here, a shutoff. So if I want to work on the system, I can kill the power from the solar panels on the roof right there before it enters the Renogy Rover. And that's good. Also, if you want to remove the battery here, if you want to remove this battery, you need to kill the power coming in before you disconnect the battery. Otherwise, you'll destroy your charge controller. This is a little Bluetooth. It's a BT1. I think they have a BT2 now, I think they call it. Anyhow, it's just a Bluetooth communicator to your cell phone, so you can check and see what the battery condition is and how much charge you're getting in from your panels. This down here, that is just a little circuit breaker. It's an auto reset circuit breaker. And I also have another shut off here. This is for the house 12-volt power. So this will shut the power off before it enters the fuse panel here. And so I can shut the house power down, like when we're traveling down the road. I don't usually like to leave power on in here, 12-volt power, but I do like to be able to go down the road and charge the battery with the solar. This is a SOK battery that I just picked up. It's a 12.8 volt, 206 amp hour lithium ion battery. So far, I've been very pleased with it. We've used it here for about, I guess we've got really in real use, we've been using it for about 2 months. I also have a spot right here, and I have another lithium battery. It's a Battleborn that fits in there, and then these wires here go to it, and that's what fires the radio, the GMRS radio. And then everybody needs to have a multimeter. They're really handy for just checking out your electrical. So that's kind of what we've done for electrical here in the trailer. Okay, let's talk about the diesel heater now. This is a 5K unit. underneath. It heats this trailer up perfectly. I mean, it really does a good job. So it's mounted in the front V-nose in the cabinet underneath. It has its own compartment down here. And let me show you where it connects. And you can see where it feeds out the face of the cabinet. You can see here this vent right here that recirculates the cool air back in underneath into the compartment where the heater is, and then it recycles it through and then blows it out as hot air. So in the face of the cabinet, down towards the floor here, I mounted a intake grate that recirculates the cool air here. The white grate recirculates the cool air back in to where the diesel heater is, and then it blows the hot air right out this port here. Does a real good job. This is the electronic controller that controls the diesel heater. These things work very well. I've been quite happy with it. If you're interested in how to program these or how they function, I have a video that I recorded. So just go down into my playlists and it'll explain everything about these, including how to program them. So anyway, this is underneath the trailer, and this is the bottom of where the diesel heater is mounted inside the trailer. This is where it comes out through the bottom of the trailer. This is the exhaust line here. This is the fresh air intake here for the combustion process. And this is the fuel inlet into the heater itself. I picked up this shroud on Amazon, and it's just a heat shroud to help protect the decking from the heat from the exhaust. It does a real good job at that. I overcut the opening just for safety's sake to keep the wood back away from the exhaust. I laid in a metal plate over the top of that, and then ran a bead of silicone or high temperature silicone, and then set this plate down onto it, and then screwed it to the decking, mounted the heater to this, and then sealed up the outside here with more of that silicone sealant, high temperature silicone sealant. So let's follow the fuel line. The fuel line is here, and it's got the protective conduit over the top of it, flexible conduit, and it runs this way. This is the power feed that goes up to the heater and to the controller up on the wall, the electronic controller, the brain, and then it runs along the bottom of the trailer here and then comes up, and this is the box that we looked at on the tongue of the trailer earlier in the video. This is where the fuel line goes through. This is the power line that goes to the little diesel pump inside there. So the black line there, that, as I pointed out earlier, that is the fresh air intake for the combustion process, and it routes underneath the trailer here, and I've kind of got it protected back in here. I built this aluminum shroud around it, or housing around it, and there's a filter on the end of it, dust filter, and that's been working out real well. Just have to clean that periodically so you can get maximum airflow into the heater. This is where the exhaust is routed down underneath the trailer, follows the tongue support underneath the trailer, and then comes out all the way down here on the side of the trailer. And that's the little muffler. And this is where the exhaust comes out the side of the trailer. Okay, this is a carbon monoxide alarm. So running the diesel heater like we do, or if you have a buddy heater or any sort of heat that you'd have inside your camper, RV, trailer like this, it's a good idea to have one of these. So if for some reason there's a fault in the exhaust port on the heater, on our diesel heater in our case, and it's kicking any carbon monoxide out into the living space in here, this alarm will go off and warn us of that. Just to give you some input, we don't sleep with the diesel heater on. We heat the trailer up before we go to bed, and then if it gets really cold at night, I'll get up and I'll turn the diesel heater on, warm the place up, and then shut it back down again. So we don't sleep with the diesel heater on. Okay, so up on top of the cabinet here, I've got, these are 12-volt outlets here. There we go, show you. USB ports or USB access. The center one here is just like a cigarette lighter receptacle. This one on this side is another USB. And then next to it here, this is the 110 outlet for shore power. Comes out here, and we can also, when we're hooked up shore power, we can also charge the USBs here as well, which is kind of handy. So for the door, we have one of these magnetic screens, which is really nice. So during the summertime when it's hot, or if you just want to have some more light in the trailer, you can open the door and then just have a screen door here. It's easy to go in and out of, and it keeps the flies out and the yellow jackets out during the summer. So this is really kind of cool. So yeah, there you go. Okay, these are the light switches in the trailer. This controls the front two lights over the cabinet in the ceiling, and those are LEDs. I'll show you those in a second. And then this is a rheostat here that controls, there's 6 other LED lights in the ceiling, and you can run them all the way up to like a football stadium bright, or you can dial them clear back to just the bare minimum, which is kind of nice if you want just some, light in the evening, but you don't want to be sitting in the middle of a football stadium because those LEDs are really bright. I'll show them to you, like I said, in just a second here. So I'm not sure how these LEDs are going to come across on the camera. You may see some flicker. You don't see flicker with the naked eye, but in the camera you quite possibly do. So anyhow, there's the 2 that are above the cabinet in the front, and those are controlled on and off by the switch here on the wall that I showed you there. Okay, this is the ceiling in the trailer looking to the back or aft of the trailer. You can see the LED lights there, and then I can turn them down to bare minimum or back up to full bright, which is kind of handy with that rheostat. Then in the center here is a Max fan, and then there's a smoke detector in front of that. So up on the wall here, we've got 2 12-volt outlets. They're just open power ports, cigarette lighter power ports, receptacles, so you can plug in. What we do is we plug in our cell phones, and back here while we're sleeping, and we just have them charging up here. Okay, this is one of our bunks. We have 2 of these, but this is one of the bunks, just so I can show you what we have here. Let me set it up for you. So let's take the blankets off of here. These are our sleeping bags. That's how we store our bags. Okay, this just folds out. This. So there we go. So we've got our cots here. Like I said, we've got 2 of these. Underneath the cots, we have storage for pots, pans in here, paper plates, just kitchen kind of stuff that we want to stow back here out of the way. And there's 2 bins underneath here containing this kind of stuff. We also have a table that we can set up in here. That's what this is over here. So back on this is the rear door. This rear door lays down. So we have, at night when we're sleeping, we have the latches that are on the outside that are lockable. We have those open and the locks latch in those so that nobody can lock us in here, which is nice. I put in these gate latches up here, one on either side. And then there's the chain here. So if there's an emergency, we need to get out of here. If there's a fire or something such as that, all you have to do is reach up here, grab the chains, one on either side, and pull down on those. That pulls the pins on either side in, and then the door will go down. So it's a real fast way of getting out of here if we needed to. This is Explorer 867. Thanks for watching the video today. I hope you got some good ideas on just what you can do with your enclosed cargo trailer to turn it into a camper that meets your needs, whatever that might be. The nice thing about this, you got the flexibility to make it just what you want, just as Helen and I have done. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. You get the latest content from the channel as I release it. Put us out on your social media. Let others know that we're out here. Make a comment down below the video and I'll get back to you. I'll write you back, and if you have questions about anything that we've done here, I'd love to talk to you. It helps push that algorithm that YouTube uses. So go ahead and make those comments. And then, as always, I look forward to seeing you in the great outdoors. You guys take care.